unrelated word, Polish word, cierpliwość. That means patience. There's no political message attached to it. It's a very nice Polish word. So, Minister, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wojtek. Thank you very much, Maroš, for spending the day with us. Dzień dobry and good afternoon. We've had a very good conversation with three main themes throughout the agenda. And as you can tell, we run late because the discussion was so rich, robust, that it was really hard for us to finish. The first item was relations with the US, secondly, economic security, and finally, EU trade agenda about ongoing trade negotiations with other partners than US. When it comes to, let me start with the first point, the relations with the US. First, I really want to thank Maroš for his proactive engagement with the US counterparts and a very good, open, transparent ministers today. This transparency, this engagement from the Commission, from Commissioner Šefčovič and his team, is critical for maintaining European unity, which is really a source of our power in negotiations with any partner, and perhaps especially with the United States. We are meeting almost in a halfway moment since both the US and EU paused potential difficult aspects of our trade relations. It's been 37 days, but who's counting? The member states remain fully united and support the Commission's approach, which I think is best summarized with words for our American colleagues of a former US President, Theodore Roosevelt, who said, "Speak softly," and I would add, negotiate swiftly, but carry a big stick. And that's exactly what the Commission and the EU is doing. Let me be very clear. Europe is about building bridges, not walls. We see a great value in having great transatlantic trade relations. It's truly the most important economic relationship for EU and for the US. There is so much to fight for. But we also need to, at the same time, protect interests of our European businesses and consumers. Therefore, we have to prepare for Plan B if the negotiations don't reach its full potential. But I hope we won't implement Plan B. Plan A remains for the Commission to find a negotiated solution with positive agenda. US have some things that we need in Europe. We can buy more products, we can reduce industrial tariffs, we can work together on strategic issues. To put it simply, Europe is open for business, and Europe is open for a great deal. Some might even say great, beautiful deal, but perhaps that's our colleagues from the other side. And we'll make most of the remaining time to show the logic of cooperation to our US partners, and Commissioner and his team is making real progress in this direction. I'm carefully optimistic because there are signs that our US allies and partners are changing the approach and de-escalating the relations also with other important trade partners like China and, of course, the initial agreement that has been agreed with the UK. So in this context, we have also discussed the so-called trade diversion. This is about protecting Europe from the potential negative impact of trade frictions, for example, between US and China. And I'm happy to report that member states and the Commission don't see any negative trends, any negative events at this point. But we remain vigilant and are ready to act, and Commissioner Šefčovič presented member states today with the mechanism, monitoring mechanism and the reaction mechanism that will remain in place. The second issue that we discussed was economic security. I'm happy that as a presidency we have led a work to ensure that our economic arsenal is becoming more mature. Simply, we are working to be better equipped to face the challenges of the modern world. Let me give you some examples. First, the review of the FDI screening regulation is progressing well. I hope that the Polish presidency will get the mandate for negotiations with the Parliament in June. And as you know, the European Parliament has already reached their position. And this is something that not only did we discuss, but where I could see very much unity among the member states to move quickly, yet maintaining high ambition of this screening regulation. Secondly, there is progress on export controls on critical emerging technologies to make sure that we are not creating any unwanted dependencies. And thirdly, on July 1st, additional tariffs on some products from Russia and Belarus will enter into force. That's something also that is important for all member states, and as you can imagine, this is something that was an important goal for the Polish presidency. In conclusion, we remain open and committed to international trade, but we are also not naive. We are extending trade instruments and will not hesitate to use them. The final point of our agenda today was to discuss ongoing trade negotiations. This was done over a really great lunch discussion. The member states support the Commission to lead the negotiations with India, Indonesia, Thailand, and others. And here Commissioner Šefčovič gave us a good outline of where we are. And as you can, I'm sure, see, this is an integral part of European strategy to deal not only with our American allies, but really engaging the rest of the world, while at a moment that also the rest of the world is looking for stable, predictable, open for business partners that EU is. So let me repeat with the final message: Europe is open for business. Of course, these trade agreements all of our trade agreements must be ambitious and balanced and take into account the sensitivities of the member states. This was a great day of what we hope, what we think might be the last trade meeting of the Polish EU presidency. But you never know. We've had a great cooperation both with the Commission and with other members of the Council. If it is the last of our meetings, this was really a high note to end our trade presidency on.
Thank you, Minister.